Hello there, back with the Amstrad yet again, and I've actually made a bit of progress with it now. So if you've seen the last video, you'll know I got it back together and it kind of works, but it wouldn't read any discs, and I assumed I needed the specific Amstrad disc for that. No, any system disc will do, it just needs to be formatted in the 720k format, and it should be fine. Problem I had is the drive just wouldn't read it because the heads were dirty. Yeah, it was as simple as that. I cleaned the heads and suddenly it's reading discs. So I've got to a DOS prompt. Wonderful, I can start doing things now. So yeah, I've been playing about with some games and I didn't have much success at first because this display is like text only. But from reading the manual, it does seem that this computer does support CGA mode. You've just got to configure the graphics to do that. So that's done with the dip switches on the side. So a quick look at the manual told me everything I needed to know there. So yeah, on the side of the unit, there's a row of dip switches and that tells the computer what mode to output the graphics to. So it will, by default, be text-based. To switch it to CGA on mine, first 4 dip switches down and the 5th one up. There are 6 in there, I believe the last one isn't used for anything. And yeah, that will configure both the internal display and the output to CGA mode. Okay, apologies for the weird camera angles, but this thing is incredibly difficult to film. So hopefully that's coming through, I don't know. It's not very clear to my eyes, so I can't imagine how it looks in the camera. Anyway, yeah. In theory, this should support anything with 4-colour CGA, but I've had a few hits and misses. So Jill of the Jungle, for example, wouldn't run because it ran out of memory. Commander Keen just refused to run full stop. I assume it was down to the graphics. I don't know. But then some things do work as well. In fact, quite a lot works. And for a computer that wasn't designed for gaming at all, it's quite impressive. But let's have a look at... I think I've got Elite in the drive. And this does seem to work quite well. So we've got 2 versions, standard Elite or the line drawn Elite. Let's have the good one. Let's have the shaded one. Love that floppy sound. Copy protection. And we're straight in. We've got graphics and we've got sound. So let's start a game. Never been very good at this. But yeah, it seems to work quite well. And I'm probably going to crash into the space station now, but that's okay. What have we got on this one? Bugs Bunny. Yeah. Game I've never played before. I think it's one of those games that you really need to see it in colour to be able to appreciate it. Because it looks terrible on this screen. When it eventually loads. Oh, there we go. So yes, Bugs Bunny Harebrained Adventure from 1990. So let's have a look. We want keyboard. And we want to start a game. Oh, there I am. I mean, it works, and it works quite fast as well. It's just virtually impossible to see what you're doing. Ah! Well, whatever that was just got me. Okay. Let's go this way. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe it's a game I could get into, I don't know. Maybe not on this screen, though. I mean, the display's not great, but that is Leisure Suit Larry running on an Amstrad PPC. Let's try a game. Assuming I can get past the age verification. Yeah. Okay, it is customary to tip about I don't know. I'm going to say 15. Cool. The best pickup line is, "Hey baby, what's your sign? Want to go for a ride in my Porsche? For a fat girl, you sure don't sweat much. Oh, charming. Do you know where I can buy some Vaseline?" Yeah, probably not that one. I'm going to go for the Porsche one. Yep. Herpes is, oh, good grief. Fatal if given to your spouse. Well, it's got to be that one, hasn't it? Yep. A Macintosh is a kind of apple, or a kind of apple, or an article of clothing, or all of the above. When you get multiple choice and they say all of the above, it's always all of the above. Final question. My boss is a jerk, a total jerk, an absolute total jerk, or responsible for my paycheck. Well, it's going to have to be that one, isn't it? Yep. And we're in. So, yeah, the graphics aren't looking great. Let me just turn that down. Nice thing about this computer, it does have a volume control for the PC speaker. Yeah, I mean, it seems to run fine. I don't think it looks particularly good, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't play through the whole game like this. If you're some sort of masochist, maybe. But hey, you know what? I'm gaming on a computer that was never designed for gaming, so what do you want? Excellent. Right, what else have we got? Ah yes, so this is the text version of Leisure Suit Larry, which is softcore porn adventure. So it's the same game, I think, but just a text version. So this is probably what this computer's more suited to, this sort of thing. I don't mean adult games, I mean text adventures. Let me just clarify. Yeah, let's go in. So I'm going to work my way around the camera here. You've got a better view of the screen than me, trust me. Oh, and I've mistyped that. Excellent, yeah. Save game now. And yeah, it's all text based. And this is perfectly legible and perfectly playable. I won't play through it, you get the idea. And this will be another text adventure, so Shadows of Mordor, with a nice little intro graphic. Do I want pictures? Yeah, I want pictures. I'm going to play Frodo or Sam. Let's go for Sam. Ah, and there's our pictures. Lovely. Yeah. Again, it's a text adventure, so it's perfectly playable on this machine. Not a problem at all. Let's try something a bit faster paced, shall we? And see if we can get it to work. So it's a driving simulator. This will be interesting, I think. Crazy cars. And we have some sound. And we're still loading. Aha! There we go. Right. Right, just... Oh! Yeah, this just really isn't playable at all. Not on this screen. I mean, the computer's running it fine, but... yeah. Yeah, this has just given me a headache. But there it is. I mean, the computer will physically run it. Okay, I think that's quite enough of that. Okay, one more. Zaxxon by Sega, let's give it a go. One or two players will have one. Only keyboard control available, yep, of course. How do I start? There we go. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look great, but I suppose it's kind of playable. Although not the angle I'm looking at the screen. How do I fire? Can I fire? I'm not quite this bad, I'm just really looking at a funny angle. Okay, you get the idea anyway. Yeah, so yeah, the Amstrad PPC, it seems to be working absolutely fine, but it's not great for gaming on this screen. But you know, it was never designed to be, so what do you expect? Okay, so this is just a bit of an add-on to the video. So I made the video, I rendered it, and I was getting ready to upload it, and I was still noodling about with the computer, and I was starting to get drive read errors on that first drive again. So although I cleaned the heads and got it working again, it was still throwing up periodic errors, which seems to be getting worse and worse. So I took it apart, I stripped the drive down, and I gave it a bit more of an in-depth service, and since I've done that, it's been absolutely perfect. This is the B drive, and I thought, well, while I've done one, I might as well do the other, just in case this starts developing problems as well. Although probably not, because that first drive, that had a disc stuck in it. If you remember, if you saw in the first video, I had to pull it out with a pair of pliers. So it's not surprising it needed a bit of work, really. So yeah, I want to do the same service to this drive, even though it's working fine at the moment. It might start throwing up errors in the future, so let's try and let's service it now and hopefully keep it running good. And I thought it might be interesting for other people to see it as well. So I'll show you what I did. I can't say that's the correct way to do it, but this is how I do it. Okay, first things first, get this top cover off, which is just a push fit. So just gently lever it either side and it'll pop away. There we go. That's somewhere safe. And let's get the front panel off. Again, it just clips in, so just gently lever with a screwdriver on one side. I'll tell you what, not that side. Side with the button on. That way we'll clear it. That's away. Right, so you can see in there, I did already put a little bit of grease on this worm gear, but I think I'll re-add that. I need to get under this plate, so that needs to come out next. So there's two screws on either side. They need to come out. Okay, this plate should pull forward now. Just take hold of the head as you do it, because it will go crashing into the one below it otherwise. Gently drop that down, and this is free. Now just be careful with this, because it's a plastic piece, but there are little metal runners, and these fall off very easily, and I know that because I spent a happy 5 minutes with the other one crawling around on the floor trying to find it. Anyway, let's put that to one side, we'll clean that later. Right, so now we can see a bit more into the mechanism. So we've got access to this worm gear, this little slider bar, the heads for cleaning, And what I had to do with the other one is I had to clean this as well because it was sticky. And I think that's what was causing the problems with the drive. It wasn't engaging properly. And it was sticky because it had that disc that was stuck in there for 2+ decades. Who knows how long? I don't know. Anyway, I have some silicone lubricant. It's automotive, but that really shouldn't make any difference. And I'm just going to make sure this bottom plate is moving smoothly. So it seems fine, but let's make sure it stays that way. Right, I'm using a toothpick for this because it's what I have. A cotton bud would be better, but I don't have one, so this is fine. I can put a nice little blob where I need to. Let's get the other side. Again, like I said, I'm just an amateur, I'm just a hobbyist, so if this isn't the correct method for servicing a disk drive, I wouldn't know. But it, like I said, it seems to work very well with the other one. It's now reading and writing perfectly. Okay, I'll just cycle that a few times. That seems fine. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with this particular drive, but preventative maintenance never seems to hurt. Well, unless you do it wrong, I suppose. The thinnest of coats on this little rail. And as that head moves backwards and forwards, that will work its way in. At least that's the plan. I think this worm gear is okay. Let's just make sure it's got a decent coverage without putting too much on. And that'll work its way in as well. Okay. That's all I did with the last one in terms of lubrication. Now I want to do a bit of cleaning. So this is just a cloth from an old pair of glasses. Let's give the heads a bit of a clean. Oop, try not to do that. All seems pretty clean as it is. I don't know how much use this drive has actually had. Just be very careful with the top one as well because it's spring loaded and you don't want to stress it. Just want to give it a very gentle clean. There we go. Actually, I'll tell you what I will lube up as well. I'll lube up these rails here that this this top piece sits in. So I'll just do that. Again, it doesn't need much. What I don't want to do is put too much in it and have it blob everywhere. I don't think that would be good for the drive. Okay. Let me just give this little rotor a clean as well. This one seems fine. The other one was incredibly sticky. This one doesn't seem to have a problem, but let's give it a clean while we're in here. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this top piece. So before they fall off, let's take these little wheels off so I don't lose them. And I'll give them a separate clean as well. I'll just rub them down with a rag. And I just want to clean all the grooves to make sure the disc can slide in and out properly. Nothing's going to bind up. Give these little wheels a clean. They will pick up grease that we put on earlier onto the drive, so we don't need to grease them directly. Okay, I can reassemble now. Yep, that's it, done. I'll get this back in the machine. So that is how I service these. Again, rightly or wrongly, I don't know. That's just what seems to work for me. Let's get it back in the machine. And just like that, we're back together. So drive A is reading fine. Drive B, I haven't tested, but I expect it will be fine. Yeah, not a problem at all. So yeah, both disk drives serviced, working, and I think that concludes this. I don't think I'm going to be putting any more videos out on this unless there's something somebody particularly wants to see. I don't know, in which case I don't mind, but I think we've seen all there is to see. I'm going to carry on noodling with it though, so this is going to be sitting on my desk for quite a while. Yeah. So I'm made up with this machine now. I really am, especially now I can load games onto it as well. I am aware, before people start shouting at me, I am aware there is a video output on this thing. You don't have to play the games on this screen. I know that. The whole purpose of the majority of this video was to see how these games would hold up on this screen, so that's why I've done that. Plus I don't have a CGA to VGA adapter, so, you know, there's that. So yeah, as always, much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, and look after yourselves. Bye.